In the last stream, we were of course working on these giant 7x7x7 cubes of cobblestone, which between this stream and last stream have slowly but surely been transformed into giant 7x7 cubes of ancient cobblestone using the hourglasses of nostalgia in the center. And so hopefully right at the start of today's stream, we can go ahead and kind of vein mine these down and then utilize all that ancient cobblestone to produce a bunch of geodes, which we can then crack open in our brand new crafting table over here to get a bunch of resources. We do have a bit of a problem here, and that problem is that I didn't build these cubes on platforms of cobblestone. I kind of built them out over the lava, which is a little bit of a pain because it means that now if I break this, some of the pieces might fall into the lava. However, I do believe that if I were to vein mine from the top, I think there is a limit on how far you can vein mine, like how big of an area you can vein mine. So I think if I were to, for example, vein mine here, yeah, like the vein mine area isn't quite big enough, and also my pickaxe wasn't good enough to mine the whole thing. So that does work. Needlessly risky because we could have fallen into the lava there, but we do now have, well over a stack of ancient cobblestone, and I think we probably will, right out of the gate here, see about getting some more sticks and then seeing if we can't use those to make a bunch of cobblestone pickaxes. Now, we do run into one problem right away here, and that problem is that we don't have any sticks, and as you may have noticed, between streams, because the base has been chunk loaded, all of our grass has slowly but surely been transformed into mysterious grass, which is fantastic from a mysterious dust standpoint. We can go ahead and vein mine all of this and get stacks upon stacks of mysterious powder, which is fantastic. However, it does severely limit our ability to bone meal grass and use that grass to make sticks. So much so that I think we might actually do a little bit of this kind of quest line down here before we go breaking all of that ancient stone there, because if we can get the heat sawmill, we can actually begin turning our oak wood into planks, like this, and then our oak planks into sticks, like this, which I think might be an easier way, or at least a more automatable and a more sustainable way of us getting sticks going forward. This quest here does give us a cobblestone burst seed. I have seen a couple of people in the Twitch chat commenting on these burst seeds. Do we have multiple burst seeds? We do. So there are stone, sand, dirt, snow, netherite, quartz, prismarine, cobblestone, gravel, and stone and crystal. Okay, let's get rid of the instability seed, and let's give that a try. If I hold shift, does this grow faster? No? Okay, well, we'll leave that there for now. We'll come back to that and see if that, is ready to be harvested later on down the line. But for now, though, let us start with this quest here. I don't necessarily think that we need the grinder to get the sawmill, but we might as well do these quests in the order that they appear. So it says here, see your Prodigy Tech guidebook gifted at the end of chapter 1 for more information. So if we want to make the Rotary Grinder, we need 5 pink composite brick and then 3 crystal grinding wheels. These are made from those crystals that we made previously, and the pink composite binder is made by burning the pink composite, which we make by dropping raw pink composite blend into water, that being sand, mysterious dust, and pink dye. All of that stuff seems very doable. Between streams, I have gone ahead and smelted up some more glass here, so we should be able to go ahead and do something like this and like that to get a bunch of sand. Red dye-wise, we do have quite a lot of beets available to us, so we can craft those up, of course, into standard red dye. Bone meal-wise, we can do it the old-fashioned way with a little one of those. Might as well do it a few times here and then just refill our hunger. And then at that point, we can go and get us some bone meal, craft that up into some pink dye. I'm actually not too sure how much pink dye we're going to need. Looking at the sawmill, we do want to get this as well. This requires 5 composite brick, as does the grinder. Later on down the line, there's also the solid fuel aero heater, which requires 6 more in and of itself. And then the solderer, depending on where you live and how you pronounce that. But this one does not require any of those bricks. So in total, we need 5, 10, 16 of those bricks, I believe. That should be very doable. That means 16 pink composite, which means 16 raw pink blend. So we need 16 sand, 16 pink dye, and 16 mysterious powder. All of that actually seems very doable. And in fact, I think we have basically all of that good to go. So if we craft all that up, slowly but surely drop it in over here. Actually, I think we can just drop all that in, and I think it will, like, one by one transform into the binder that we're after. And then at that point, of course, all we have to do is just drop it into the lava, and we're good to go. So once we have the pink composite brick, at that point, at least for the grinder, we just need these grinding wheels. So just as before, we need to get the crystal blocks. These are made by smelting the mysterious mixture. These are made with the stone dust, the mysterious fertilizer, and the det cord. I did go and do a little bit of farming between streams. I got more wheat, harvested some more of the normie seeds, all that good stuff. And so I do believe that we should have some extra det cord lying around here. We do. We have 16, as well as a bunch of stone dust as well. Let's also grab some of that mysterious dust that we have, and then we'll go and make some mysterious fertilizer. I'm going to go ahead and make quite a bit of this, because I think we are going to need more of these crystals here from Hearth going forward. So we'll get quite a bit of mysterious fertilizer. I think that the det cord is once again going to be the limiting factor here, but for now I think 8 should be more than enough. So let's throw you in, I guess for now, over there. That's going to slowly but surely smelt down. Once that's done, I guess for the grinder, we actually only need like 3 blocks worth. Once we have the crystals, we can do one of those. 1, 2, oh, they don't stack. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. And at that point, I'm not quite sure why this shows diamonds. I can't take them, unfortunately. But at that point, we should have everything we need to make the grinder. Nice. So it says, hot air is the power source of nearly all machines in the mod. This is where ceramic starts getting useful. The Rotary Grinder works like a lot of well-known machines. It crushes things. Most notably, it can crush ores into 2 dust, each being smeltable into an ingot. It has a variety of other uses and is required to progress through the mod. Items can be inserted/extracted from any side except the top and the bottom. So previously, we made the magmatic Aero heater at the end of the first chapter. And as you can see here, this makes constant hot air when above lava, up to a maximum of 80 degrees Celsius. So I think what we need to do here is we need to put this down above lava. I'm just thinking how I want to do this. I think what we probably want to do, if we can, I think we probably want to set up an area kind of specifically for it. I have been told that we can move lava using our oak bucket here. However, it does set us on fire while we're carrying it. And it also does use up the bucket. I think that's fine. The bucket is just 3 sticks and therefore is pretty easy to remake. So if we just do something like this, and then don't die, we're going to die. No, we're not. We're fine. Close call, but we're fine. What we should then be able to do, just as soon as we take that potato out, is we should be able to put the magmatic Aero heater down above that lava. So this guy, I believe, is now good to go. You'll see the temperature has now reached 80 degrees Celsius, and the texture has changed ever so slightly. But I think that we place down the grinder on top of this, and I think that passes the temperature up. You'll see there are arrows in here. So I believe we're using the lava to heat up the magmatic Aero heater. That then, transforms the heat from the lava into heat that can go through the grinder here. And so long as this has enough heat, which I think it now does, we should be able to actually use it to grind things. So moving on to the sawmill, which I think is really what we're after in order to get sticks. For this, we need more of these pink composite bricks, as well as 3 cutter. The cutter is made from flint, and flint is, of course, made from gravel. Now, I believe the reason that the crusher is first in the quest book is because, we can transform cobblestone into gravel in the Rotary Grinder here. So if we throw some regular cobblestone in there, that is going to slowly but surely grind that cobble down using the hot air from the magmatic Aero heater into gravel. If we drop the crushing block over the gravel, we can get either 1 or 2 flint, I assume is what that means there. Let's give that a try. If we move you back over here temporarily and do something like this and this, that gets us 4 flint. Nice. At that point, we can then craft those together like this, and that gets us 2 cutters. So we just need, and again, they don't stack, unfortunately, but at that point, we just need 1 more cutter here, and we should be good to go. And even if we get very unlucky here, the 2 gravel should get us, at the very least, 2 flint, just so long as you don't pick it up while you're dropping the item on it. Perfect. And at that point, we can craft up the 1 last cutter, and then use that, of course, to craft up the sawmill. Now, I do think that what we might have to do here is we might have to move the grinder. I don't know if we have enough heat coming out of the Aero heater here to run like the grinder and the sawmill. I do think that these machines pass heat through them. Like you can see here, it's got like an arrow going up and then another arrow going up past that. So I think you can stack the machines like this to where you'll see this machine does still have 80 degrees Celsius. However, I'm not sure if we were to, for example, put a little bit of wood in here, you'll see the output temperature here is only 64. I don't know if 64 is enough to crush gravel. Yeah, I don't think it is. I think you need like at least 80 in order for it to work. So yeah, I think this does work. Like you can use both of these machines, but I believe currently we can only use either one or the other because we're not producing enough heat with the Aero heater. However, I do believe that is why we have this quest a little later on down the line. The solid fuel Aero heater will allow us to produce enough heat for more advanced machines. So I believe that once we get this, we can of course start using, all of our fuels to generate heat, at which point I would assume that we could maybe run both of these at the same time. For now, at least, though, we do have our first bits of oak wood, and of course we can go ahead and begin making sticks using that oak wood, which is very nice indeed. And in fact, we do get 4 sticks per plank here, which is going to give us quite a nice return, as opposed to the regular, 2 to 4 recipe that is vanilla Minecraft. So now we have all of these extra sticks. We can, of course, begin to make, stone pickaxes to actually tear down all of the ancient stone here. I do think, however, we probably want to look at a slightly better storage solution. Like this area is getting so messy, mostly due to this mysterious grass that we have. But we probably do want to look at getting a better storage solution. And I think for now, I will also take this grit vase and the mussel bread. Mussel bread. 4 uses left, not eaten yet. Let's give it a try. Ooh, it gives us strength, resistance, and health boost. That's good to know. But yeah, I think before we look into getting the stone, we could look into some storage. The quest book does seem to recommend wooden crates here. And if you make one, you do get another one for free. I guess we might as well. I was going to go in with storage drawers, which we might pivot over to in the future, especially once we get quite a large number of items. There is also the kind of custom chest mod, this compacted storage here, and I do believe there is a quest for it, up here to make the chest builder. You can use this to make very, very large chests, and we might look into that, although they are quite expensive. But for now, let's go with this one. It requires 4 wood, 4 planks, and 1 chest. That seems very doable. We do have 4 wood left over there. We do have 4 planks, and we can go ahead and make a chest, like so. At which point, we should then be able to go ahead and make a regular old crate here. So we'll put our first one here for now. We probably will end up doing some base redesign. I'll probably do it between streams. I'll gather like a bunch of wheat and maybe set up some new grass areas. I think I'll probably end up leaving this area here as purple grass, but then maybe changing like this area and these areas back to regular grass and trying to kind of close in the purple grass so it doesn't kind of spread out all over the base. But for now at least, let's go ahead and let's put in our ancient stone here. So yeah, I'm fairly certain by default these can hold up to 64 stacks of any given item. So at this point in time, it's also probably going to be worth it for us to look at getting just some more cobblestone chests here. While we can, of course, make regular Minecraft chests at this point, I don't really see much of a reason to. And in fact, actually, I think I did make a bunch of cobblestone parts, right? Yeah, we have 17 left over in here, so we might as well use those to make some more regular chests. And for now, I will go ahead and add like a third one up here just so I can dump like all of my stuff in there. At which point we can of course go ahead and look at harvesting all of the ancient cobblestone. So quite a bit of vein mining later, we now have quite a large amount of this ancient stone here. Specifically, we have got 1,040 ancient stone. A little bit of the ancient stone did fall in the lava. As you can see, there are a few geodes kind of bouncing around. Occasionally, if they come close enough, we can grab them, like that guy there. And it's quite possible that we could also get this guy eventually if he comes back. But for now, though, I have gone ahead and put down a much safer cobblestone platform here. So going forward, if we do any more vein mining, we should be able to collect all of the ancient stone fairly easily. And it should also be a little easier for me to rebuild these cubes in the future. And I do think between streams, I will go ahead and rebuild all of these and then harvest them all again, maybe before next stream, just so we have them ready to go and you guys don't have to watch me build, another 4 7x7x7 cubes. But yeah, for now, we do have quite a lot of these geodes. And so I feel like we should have one big old geode opening session. I do also think that we should probably take the advice of Twitch chat and maybe tweak this setup a little bit. Right now, we throw things down like at this wall and occasionally they do fall under, which is not ideal. I think it would be more ideal if we had something similar to what we have here, where we have like one little pocket of lava that we throw things into. I think that's going to be a little safer when it comes to dropping things like the ancient cobblestone here. So with these barrels here, you can single left click to pull out one item. You can right click to drop items in, and you can double left click to pull out a stack. So we'll start with the like 5 or 6 stacks that we currently have. Over in the crafting table, we of course do need to have our hammer on us. But if we open this up and drop the geodes in, we can then click the break open button and it will produce something for us. So if we go ahead and do something like this, we can tear open a couple of stacks. Okay, so we have run out of inventory space, but we do now have lapis, we have silver, we've got iron, we've got diamonds, we have copper, redstone, gold, aluminum, and emeralds. These are pristine emeralds? Oh, I see. So we have regular emeralds and pristine emeralds. We also have regular diamonds and pristine diamonds from Tetra. Right. That's actually fine. I assume we can go ahead and kind of craft these up into ingots. We totally can. Okay, so it seems like our hammer is broken here. Can I repair this? I can. Presumably, we need to use stone, the same material that we used to replace the head here. So if I put stone in here and click craft, that does seem to repair it. I assume it only takes 1 at a time, but 2 stone there does seem to pretty much refill the durability on that hammer there, which is quite nice. And at that point, we can do the final 16 geodes here. Perfect. So that should be pretty much everything. Let's quickly craft these up here. You can hover up, by the way, if you have items that can be crafted into like block form, like these nuggets can, normally you do this to make an ingot, and you can hover over them and press K, and they will be auto-crafted. I do believe you have to do that in a crafting station. I do believe you can also do it with things like lapis to make blocks of lapis, like I just did there. But yeah, just hover over the item and hit K. It's a lot quicker than having to craft them all manually. At that point, we can drop all those in there, and we now have a somewhat decent, albeit still fairly small supply of certain ingots, especially things like silver were a little light on there. And that's because I haven't crafted those up. That is my bad. There we go. Perfect. I will, of course, claim our free barrel as well. We'll put that down here. I think I'll put regular cobblestone in there. That's another item that we are going to have quite a bit of going forward, and it does kind of take up quite a large amount of inventory space, just kind of holding all of that in our chests. It also allows me to occasionally wander on over, pick up all the cobblestone that's here, and just kind of drop that without worrying about filling up all of our, pre-existing cobblestone chests that we have. Let's take a look at, I think, this bottom section of the questline here. The questline does kind of like loop back around, and they both do intersect at the solderer here, or solderer, after the Nether Crystal. But I think for now we'll start over here and we'll come back to this quest as well. So we need amplifying tubes and a rock core. So here it says, see your book of the well for more information. This one says, compressed clay can be acquired by using a shard of the root of life on a rock core. See JEI and or your book of the well for more information. So if we want to make compressed clay, we have to take a shard of the root of life and right click it onto a rock core. The rock core is 6 stone, 2 gravel, and 1 heavy ingot. Do we currently have any heavy ingots left over? It doesn't look like we do. However, I don't believe it's going to be too hard for us to get more heavy ingots here. The heavy mixture is stone, dirt, and charcoal. We do have 31 beet charcoal. We also have a bunch of wheat, which we can, of course, craft into grass and then into dirt. We can then grab some of our pre-existing stone. And if we craft all three of those together, we can get quite a large amount of the heavy mix lumps here, which we can then, of course, craft over in here. For now, we'll just put these crystal blocks away. We'll come back to those as and when we need them, which might be momentarily. Although it does appear that we do have multiple shards of the root of life here, so we should be able to get, if we want to, presumably a few of these compressed clay here. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's see if we have any gravel. We do indeed. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and craft that up into the rock core. So we take this guy, we put it down, we then right-click with the shard of the root of life. That imbues it with some form of magical power. And then it turns into compressed clay. I see. Okay, so we are going to have to make a new rock core for every compressed clay we want. However, that does get us 9 blocks of clay. And thus, as a result, that also gets us, 36 regular clay as well, which is a pretty nice batch of clay all in one go. We also get 5 levels there as well. We then have this Azul quest. This one says, the only way to acquire clay at this point is via compressed clay. Once you have your raw Azul blocks, you can convert them into Azul blocks by placing them underneath a stack of amplifying tubes. Between 2 and 8 of them, more is faster. If it's working, you should see particle effects inside of the amplifying tubes. So over in the Hearth book, there is a section here on amplifying. The amplifying tubes, when stacked 2 tall, up to 8 tall, will transform a block below it. So you can transform stone into lava, leaves into water, or cactus or ice, and you can transform blocks of mysterious dust into fluid souls. Do not be alarmed. Ooh, okay. So, as the quest book alludes here, and these don't seem too bad, actually. We do need more heavy ingots. However, we did just start smelting up even more of them over here, and we should have glass left over. So making some of these blocks really shouldn't be a problem for us. 2 is the bare minimum. We are almost certainly going to want to get even more of those, but for now, that does get us 2 more. So this quest only wants us to make 1 Azul block. However, I assume we need it over here. We do. So we need 2 if we want to make the solid fuel aero heater here. So if we want to get 2 of these, we have to make 2 raw Azul blocks. These are made with crystal blocks, mysterious dust blocks, and clay. And you get 3 at a time, actually. So this does not seem too bad whatsoever. In fact, we do already have the crystal blocks. We have the clay blocks. And in terms of the mysterious powder, we do have multiple stacks ready to go here. So we can go and get 16 right out of the gate, at which point we can then, of course, go ahead and craft up some of these raw Azul blocks. For now, we'll just go with 3. We can always make more in the future as and when we need them. And then for now, I am going to build over here just because we've not got much space over in that area. And this area is also overrun with mysterious purple grass. But if we were to, for example, do, I think, something like this and something like this, it does say if it's working, you should see particle effects inside of the amplifying tubes. So I do see these fire effects inside of the tubes here, so I'm fairly certain that this is working. I don't know quite how long it's going to take. It does, of course, say in the book here as well that more is faster, so we could definitely look at making more amplifying tubes here to increase the speed at which we transform these Azul blocks. As soon as we have them, though, I think we're pretty good to make the solid fuel aero heater, because this guy is just Azul blocks, pink composite brick, which we already have, and crystal, which we also already have. And then after that, we are going to have to go through this quest line here to get to the solderer, because we need the ceramic ingots. These are made via the explosion furnace. It says, read your Prodigy Tech guidebook for more information. So inside of the electric furnace, it seems we can turn iron ingots with clay into ceramic ingots. This first block here is done. I will go ahead and take that. Perfect. And I guess we might as well put another one down right away there. This one, I guess, shouldn't be too far behind. So now back over here, we should have everything we need to make the solid fuel aero heater, We do. Nice. And this can create a maximum temperature of 200 degrees Celsius. So, as I mentioned before, I think now if we were to place the solid fuel heater at the bottom here, and in fact we can go ahead and test it, I guess, if we do something like that, presumably now we could put fuel into here. I don't want to use my charcoal because I think we are going to need that for crafting up more of the heavy mix lumps here. But if I was to, for example, maybe burn some crafting tables, that should increase the temperature here past 80 degrees Celsius. And I believe that's going to allow us to use both of these machines at the same time. The downside, of course, being that we have to constantly provide this with fuel, which I think is going to be something that we could maybe look at automating in the future. But for now, honestly, I don't see us using all of this too much. And so I think, at the moment at least, we can get away with just using the Aero heater and maybe save the solid fuel heater for machines that do require more than 80 degrees Celsius. Either way, let's claim the bit of fudge, who doesn't love fudge, as well as some extra charcoal there. And then let's look up here. So the explosion furnace refers us to the guidebook. So the guidebook does have a section on the explosion furnace. It says, the explosion furnace is the first machine to make. Using an explosive reaction, it can be used to turn iron and clay into ceramic, a strong heat-resistant material, as well as crush large amounts of stone. Its GUI is split into 4 parts. On the left, you have 2 vertical slots, the explosive slot at the top and the dampener slot at the bottom. On the right, 3 input slots, followed by the reagent slot, and finally 3 output slots. To simply make ceramic ingots, put 5 gunpowder in the explosive slot, 4 sand in the dampener, 16 iron ingots in the input slot, and 4 clay in the reagent slot. Shift-clicking or automating will sort them out automatically, then stand back and give it a redstone pulse. Right now, the thing that stands out to me is the fact that we don't have gunpowder. Do we have a way of making gunpowder? Is my first question. We can turn red flint into gunpowder, and red flint we can craft with regular flint and rose red. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let's drop then a whole stack of cobblestone, which I do have to double click for, over into the grinder here. That's going to slowly but surely get us a stack of gravel, which we can of course then crush, dye, and crush again. While we wait for that, let's see about actually making the explosive furnace here. Yeah, this actually seems pretty easy. We need 8 stone bricks and 1 flint and steel. Thankfully, we do have stone, so we can go ahead and make the 8 stone bricks nice and quickly. And we do have 42 flint here, so we can go ahead and grab that. Do we get flint from our geodes? I was going to say, I'm not quite sure why we have so much flint. That's why I put gravel in this grinder here, but I guess we probably got a good deal of flint out of our geode opening. That makes a lot of sense. That gets us the explosion furnace, though. For now, I will put this down, like, way over here, because I do have a feeling, a sneaking suspicion that this might explode, which I guess we don't want to be near for that. And I'm also going to temporarily pick this guy up, just in case it does do any, like, damage to nearby blocks. But at that point then, if we already have 40 plus flint, we should just be able to grab some of our red dye, as well as, I guess, some of our beets to make more red dye. We can then craft the flint with red dye to make the red flint. We'll get quite a bit of this. I'm actually not quite sure how much we're going to need. Let me check real quick. If we're going to make this guy, we need 6 of these ceramic ingots. The book does say 5, and so I think 5 gunpowder is probably enough, which means that 22 red flint here should also be more than enough. Let's go ahead and turn half of that into gunpowder. Perfect. We'll then also grab some sand, which we of course get by dropping this guy again, but on glass. Perfect. We should probably move this to a slightly safer location. Far too often, I think my items keep like falling into lava. Thankfully they don't, but it's way too close. So over here, let me consult the guide one more time here. So we're going to put 5 gunpowder in the explosive slot. The explosive slot is the left slot. So we're going to put 5 gunpowder in over here. Does it automatically go in where it's supposed to go? Oh, it does. Perfect. So if we just do this and sand, it says 4 sand, 5 gunpowder, 16 iron ingots, and a block of clay, and 4 clay. So I think that's right. It worked. It did give us it did play a slightly bizarre sound, and we did definitely take damage because we were, I think, too close to the furnace there. But either way, we do now have 16 of these ceramic ingots, and that should be more than enough for us to look at getting the solderer down here. However, there is one more thing between us and this block, and that is, of course, this guy right here, the Nether Crystal. So to make the Nether Crystal, we have to toss a regular crystal into a Nether portal. A Nether portal, of course, is just a bunch of obsidian. Right now, we do not have a way to mine obsidian. People have mentioned obsidian breakers to me in the past, which I think we could now look at making. Yeah, we can also just make a diamond pickaxe, which I think is probably going to be the sensible way of going about it here. We do have diamonds ready to go. So quite a bit of obsidian mining later, and we should now be able to make a portal. Chat did remind me that we only need 8 blocks here because we can utilize the obsidian that is already down to kind of build this portal. So if we do something like this, and of course something like this, we should then be able to light the middle here with a flint and steel. I do believe we used up the last flint and steel here, so I will go ahead and make a new one. So we'll give that a quick right click. Perfect. I do believe that this does not work. Yeah, so there is no nether in this pack. However, what we can do is we can grab some of the crystals. We can then throw those through over here, and that turns them, just as they pass through the portal there, they turn into these guys, the nether crystals. Perfect. At that point, I think we are basically there. That gets us a Speedy Hopper 1 from the Speedy Hoppers mod. That mod does add, I believe, 3 tiers of hopper. There's like an iron, a gold, and a diamond hopper. Yeah, that can get very fast. But now we should be able to get this guy right here. So if we want to make it, we need 1 nether crystal, 6 ceramic iron, and then 1 carbon plate. The carbon plate can be made by crafting together 9 carbon dust, and the carbon dust can be made by grinding down coal or charcoal. And this is why I didn't want to use this charcoal earlier, because I believe now we do want to go ahead and throw some of this in here. Specifically, I think we want to throw 9 charcoal in there. That should get us 9 charcoal dust. At which point we should have basically everything, I think, to make this solderer, or solderer, however you want to say it. So there is 9 carbon dust. Let's craft that up into 1 carbon plate. If we then combine that up with, of course, the nether crystal and the previously made ceramic, that should be everything for the solderer. Perfect. Use gold dust, circuit plates, and a pattern to make circuits. Nice. I will, of course, take the iron helmet. I'll also take the VIEW, aka the Voltopic Inventory Explorer Workbot. Right-click to search nearby chests. Sneak to repeat last search may be used from inventory with a keybind. Ooh, that is very interesting. So we can search for like iron, and it will show us where our iron is. Oh, so I have 2 iron stacks in here? No? Oh, I see what's happening here. So I think that's just registering the iron as being in both chests. Like, it's registering these as 2 separate inventories. The same is true up here. I think we only have 5 nuggets, but it's registering them as being in both chests there, which is not ideal, but this is pretty nifty, and it should allow us to more easily find specific items that we don't have a ton of going forward, which is pretty nice indeed. Especially things like, the handbooks here. I spent quite a bit of time looking for this earlier in the stream, and so having this going forward would be quite nice. We can even go ahead and if we look in controls here, can I look for this guy? I can. Let me bind that to like Z for now. So now if it's in my inventory somewhere, I can just hit Z and I can search for like gold, and that's going to show me where the gold is. Perfect. That is actually super neat. So chat has handily pointed out that you can in fact take the items out. So if you left click here, you can actually extract the items from the chest just by looking at it and left clicking. That is super neat. I also do wonder, can you take like a stack if I like shift left click? Can I take all 5? I totally can. Either way, chat. With that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the Volcano Block portion of today's stream there. Between streams, I'm going to do, I think, quite a bit of work here. I'm probably going to replace down the 4 7x7 cubes of cobblestone so that I can get more ancient stone and, therefore get more geodes, get more iron, gold, lapis, etc. I will also go ahead and turn all of this ancient stone into geodes and then into resources between streams. I'll also, I think, spend quite a bit of time trying to reorganize the base a bit. Everything right now is very haphazard. Things are just kind of thrown down. There's a lot of purple grass, which I think I kind of want to try and contain to have one area of purple grass. I don't want the entire base made out of purple grass. So I think what we'll do is I'll grab a bunch more wheat, make a bunch of regular grass, build out the platform, and make some more kind of dedicated spaces for all this stuff. I'll also try and organize our inventories as well, because right now everything, again, is a bit of a mess. I'll probably look at getting some more crates as well, so we can look at storing all of these seeds here. We've got a lot of wheat and a lot of normie seeds that could definitely do with being in crates, so they don't take up quite as much space in our large chest. But for now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and, as I said, wrap up with the Volcano Block portion of today's stream.